How's it going, guys? It's Habib here again. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a very high converting abandoned checkout flow. I know there are a lot of videos on YouTube right now talking about how to create this flow, but as an agency, we've worked with over 85 clients at this point. We've created a lot of abandoned checkout flows, and we've done lots of A/B testing, done lots of optimization as well. So I'm going to be showing you how we create this flow and all the advanced strategies that we use to get high conversions from this flow. So without further ado, let's dive in. So quick intro about myself. My name is Habib. I'm the CEO and founder of Smart E-commerce, an e-commerce agency where we help e-commerce brands increase sales and profits using email and SMS marketing. So table of contents for this video. We're going to be talking about understanding the abandoned checkout flow. I'm going to be touching more about this flow in this video. I'm also going to be talking about why this flow is so important to have. I'm going to be talking about how to create the checkout flow. I'm going to be showing you how to set up the flows. I'm going to be showing you the flow filters, personalization, creating the vertical block, and also some advanced trigger and conditional splits. We're also going to be talking about that. And also, if you stick to the end of this video, I'm going to be giving you my Profit Accelerator email template. So this email template consists of all the email flows your e-commerce store needs, from the welcome email to browse abandonment, abandoned checkout, all of the post-purchase email as well. You're going to find everything in this video. So you're going to see the pre-written template and also some live examples. So you want to make sure you stick to the end of this video to be able to get the template. So without further ado, let's dive in. First thing first, let's talk about what the abandoned checkout flow is. So the abandoned checkout flow consists of emails that are sent to people who added items to their cart, proceeded to the checkout but left your website without completing their purchase. So somebody comes to your website, they browse the product, they add the product to their cart, but then went to the checkout, put all their information but didn't complete their purchase. So as soon as those people get to your system, to your Shopify, and they'll be triggered automatically, and they'll be sent an automated abandoned checkout email. So in Klaviyo, there are two types of abandoned cart flow. One is the checkout started event trigger, and the other one is added to cart event trigger. So let me explain. So in Klaviyo, by default, you have this one here, checkout started. It's named abandoned cart reminder. But we also have another one called added to cart trigger, which is also named abandoned cart reminder. So a lot of people get this confused. But just to touch more on it. So if you look at this first one, it says checkout started. So the trigger is checkout started, which is when people get to the checkout. But this second one is added to cart. So the trigger is added to cart, which means this is just for people who added items to their cart but didn't proceed to the checkout. So again, this is kind of confusing, but just to illustrate a little bit on this, the added to cart event is triggered when people come to your website, added items to the cart but didn't proceed to the checkout. So they just added items to the cart and they left your website. This added to cart will trigger, right? It's gonna send email to them. Unlike this one triggers when people actually proceeded to the checkout, fill up their information, and then didn't proceed to buy your product. So this is when the checkout started with trigger. Right? I hope that makes sense. If you don't have this set up on your Klaviyo or Shopify, you want to check this video. So I'm going to link the video up and also in the description. You might want to check out the video to set up this trigger. And the reason why this is so important to set up is because, like I said, in Klaviyo, by default, this is the one you have. This added to cart is not set up for you. So you need to install a snippet code on your Shopify store for this one to work, right? So this is a little bit advanced. But if you want to see how to do that, I'm going to link the video above and also in the description of this video. You can watch the video on how to set up the added to cart event trigger. So that's basically the major difference between these two abandoned cart flow. And why is it so important to have this flow set up? One of the reasons is that on average, 60 to 70% of your website visitors will abandon items in their carts before leaving your website. So most people browsing online, they will come to your website, browse your product, and they will leave your website without, completing their purchase, they will just, add items to the cart. So it's so important to make sure you have this flow set up, right? So you can, get those people to come back to your website and buy your product. And also, most people will only add items to their cart but won't proceed to the checkout. So going back to this point of having this added to cart event trigger setup is that, most people will just come to your website, add items to the cart, but won't get to the checkout, right? This is where most people stop. And we've seen that lots of brands don't have this added to cart event trigger setup because, it requires a little bit of snippet code installation, right? So most people don't have it set up. But I strongly advise you to have this added to cart event trigger set up if you don't have that already, because most people will only add items to the cart and they won't proceed to the checkout. So you want to make sure you have this setup. And also, these emails are highly personalized, right? So these emails are used to show the customers exactly what they left in the cart using dynamic image block and personalization variables. So this is why these emails are really, really personalized. And on average, these emails get about 8 to 10% conversion rate on average. So for our clients, we always see that these emails, are highly, they get high conversions. And in most cases, they are the second emails or third emails that are performing most in Klaviyo, right? So this is why I think these flows are really important to have in your Klaviyo and Shopify. So moving forward, let's talk about how to create the abandoned checkout flow. So creating the flow is very simple. You basically want to go to your flows, then, just type in abandon. Right. So that's going to bring out the flow. So here you can see we have two types. This is the added to cart trigger that I was talking about. And this is the standard one on Shopify. So you basically just want to create, click on that, and you can see here trigger says checkout started, and just click on create flow. So by default, you will see some filters on Klaviyo, but I'm also going to be showing you some of our filters, and I'm also going to be talking about why we use those filters. So here we have the profile filter, which is basically placed order 0 times. So no, let's talk about the metric first. So trigger is, checkout started, they want to make sure that it's set up. And profile filter is placed order 0 times, it started this flow, has not been in the flow in the last 7 days. Now, this is okay. There's nothing wrong with this, but we just like to, go one step further. So let me show you what that trigger looks like here. So here, as you can see, this is the one we use for our agency. Here we have placed order 0 times in starting this flow, checkout 0 times in starting this flow, and has not been in this flow since the last 7 days, and also placed order 0 times overall time. So let me touch on them. So as I mentioned earlier, the default in Klaviyo is placed order 0 times in starting this flow and has not been in the flow since the last 7 days. So the additional ones we have is checkout started 0 times and also placed order 0 times. So the reason why we have this checkout started 0 times is because, so let's say somebody, received this email, they got to this flow and they received the first email and they started the checkout again. We don't want them to come back to the flow, right? So we want to make sure they don't receive the first email again. So we just, added this filter to make sure that doesn't happen, right? So if somebody started this flow already and they go back again to start the checkout, we just want to make sure that they are not receiving multiple emails because, sometimes people browse from different browser or different devices. So that might not track them properly. So you want to make sure that, this is not happening. And also placed order 0 times overall time. And the reason for this is because we have a separate flow for repeat customers. So this flow, this particular one is only for people who have never placed order with us before. And these are just some advanced stuff that we do at the agency because we want to speak to people differently. We don't like to, say the same thing in emails every single time somebody, go through this abandoned checkout flow. So these are just some advanced stuff. You can leave the Klaviyo standard, but this is just something we use. And I'm going to be touching more on some advanced strategies as we move on. So that's for the flow filter. The next thing we're going to be talking about is some personalization. So regarding personalization, there are a lot of things you can do. Let me just show you a couple of them. So this is what the email looks like on Klaviyo, something like this. So here we're going to be putting our logos, but I don't like to have the shop now or new or whatever there. And the reason is because I don't want to distract people. So I'm going to remove any kind of link, and I just want to add only my logo there. So here I'm just going to click on select image, and I'm just going to pick my logo there. Reduce the size to 200 or so. Then another thing I like to do here is make the logo even go to the checkout URL. So that means any link in this email is going directly to the checkout, right? We don't want to send people to any other place in this email. So I'm going to use the checkout trigger there. Now it's time to arrange this email and add some personalization. So here we can go with this, but I like to go a little bit further. So here I can have something like you left the so this is I'm going to use a product name here instead. Let me show you how to get that. So you want to click on this, click on preview, and then you want to scroll down here to items. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that here. Let me put this better. Let me do 18 or bold it. Right. So let's preview that and see what that looks like. So you can see it says you left the daily. So daily package is the name of the product, right? So you left the daily package behind, and that's what you're using at the header text. We can also do a lot of things here. You can use first name, right? You can also just put the person's first name here. So let's say this is where you put that. You just do first name, and you can also change this default. So in case the person doesn't have a first name, they will still be called a friend in this case, and you can have that there. So basically this is something you can do to like personalize your emails, to even make it more personalized, and add some optimization to this email, but not to make it too long. I'm going to remove that and just leave it like that. So the next thing I want to do here is changing this block to a vertical block, and I'm going to tell you why I like to use a vertical block instead. But first, let me put this up a little bit. So here, as soon as somebody comes to receive this email, the logo is there, the product they left in the website is there, and the call to action is right above the fold. And the reason why we just like to use this structure is because, again, I said that we've tested a lot of things, right? We've tested lots of things. I know a lot of brands like to have images, like to have some beautiful graphics, but having those kind of graphics sometimes just reduce the conversion, right? Because it's pushing the exact product the person left in the cart. At this point, we've seen that what people care about most with this kind of emails is basically just sending them back to the checkout. So you don't want to overcomplicate this email by having some graphics and all of that. So just keep it simple, show them the exact stuff they left in the cart. So here, header text, button. So what we want to do next is change this to a vertical block. And I'm going to show you why that is the case. So if you click on this email and you preview this email on mobile, let me show you what that looks like. So you left the daily package. Obviously, you have to fix all the spacing and all of that, which I'm going to be doing later. I don't want to bore you with that now. But if you look at this, you can see how small this image is. Very, very small, right, on mobile. So I'm going to be showing you how to make it bigger and how to use a vertical one instead of a dynamic one. Let's do that now. So here I'm going to go back to this section here that I want to use table. So I'm going to drag this here, just to like separate that. And the first thing we want to do here is change this from static to dynamic. Then we want to delete column 2. So next thing we want to do is copy this. I'm going to be using the one we had before. Then paste that here. Boom. Now we are building this cell. Then also I want to delete this. Then you want to click on add image. So click on that. Then you want to copy this code. I'm also going to be giving this code. I'm going to be giving this entire document so you can copy this code to build this for yourself. So here we want to click on alternative text, and also not there. Here at the top, image URL, then click on apply. You can also, change that to like 300 depending on how big your product is. So 100. So also we can centralize this to make it stay at the center. Then what we want to do next is copy this, then come here and put this right at the bottom. Then I can also centralize this a little bit. Yep, we are getting there. So now let's compare these two blocks and let's see what that looks like. So I'm going to click on preview, click on mobile view, and you can see the difference between this and this. So you can see how small this looks compared to how big this looks. This is talking about the product. Here you have the call to action button right above the fold. This is extremely important, having the button above the fold. You just want to give people what they need immediately and just let them go back to the checkout and buy, right? So we have the product on the left, the call to action button, and the dynamic image here. This is exactly what someone needs when they come to when they receive your abandoned checkout email. Like literally this. Anything else is just a waste of space, right? And we've seen that having a structure like this just works so much well for us. So this is a structure that we use to create our abandoned checkout email. You can like literally use this structure, and again, if you check the templates, you can use the copy to write the email, and obviously have your footer here. Right. I also don't like to use social media links. Again, we are trying not to distract people at this point. We just want them to go back to the checkout and complete their purchase. So I don't like to have that there. But something I also just like to do, which I really like to do, of course, is having reviews, customer reviews. You can also add a customer review to this email, right? So you can take some screenshot on your website. You can just use that as an image here and have it there. So this is a very simple way to create abandoned cart email within 10 minutes, using dynamic blocks and personalization blocks, right? Obviously, you want to change the button, change it to your color, do all the spacing and all of that. But this is a very simple structure that we use to create our abandoned cart emails. So the next one is having a dynamic discount code. So we don't like to give discounts in the first email. We always like to wait on the third email, right? So on the first email is just basically reminding people of what they left in the cart. And the second email, after 8 hours or so, we also send another email still reminding them again like what they have in the cart. Then on the third email is where we start giving discounts. We don't really like to give discount in the first email. But we've also had clients in cases whereby they want to have their discounts faster, on the second email because they have a very high value product. So that can also be a case. But in most cases, we like to keep our discounts on the third email. So, and also we like to use dynamic discount codes. I know some people like to use Shopify code, which is really easy to create. Just go to Shopify and create a code. But, we've seen that for abandoned cart flow and abandoned checkout flow, people are, more likely to be coming into the flow every time, depending on their customer journey. So having a dynamic discount code specifically for that person is better, and they can, use the code again when they come back because the code is always going to change, right? So that's why we like to use a dynamic discount code. To create a code is not difficult. You basically just want to go to your Klaviyo, go to contents here, then you see coupons. Click on that and create the code. I don't want to get into that in this video, but there's a video here on my YouTube on how to create dynamic discount codes for Klaviyo and Shopify. You can watch the video. So moving forward, let's talk about some advanced trigger and conditional splits. So when it comes to emails like this, like I said, we've done lots of testing. We've done lots of stuff, and one of the testing is just testing the time, the sending time of the email, which is really interesting. If you are building this kind of emails and you want to make more money, you just have to test. And I think every marketer knows this. Testing is one of the ways you can use to make more money from your marketing campaigns. So testing the time is quite easy. You basically just want to come here. And so here by default, the first one is 4 hours. So let's say I want to test timing. In this case, we always like to start with something around 30 minutes to 1 hour. So here you just want to have a conditional split. To do that, you just want to drag the conditional split and you want to have it at random sample. Random sample is going to be 50-50. Then you just want to use the time here. So the first one is 30 minutes. The second one, could be 1 hour 20 or 1 hour 30. So you can, start with that for your timing. And you just want to have the same email. So here, we are still using the same email, but we are only testing multiple timing, right? So 30 minutes to 1 hour 30, and you just want to continue and rejoin here. This is basically how you can structure your abandoned cart email. A couple of things you can have in these emails. The email number one, reminding them of the what they left in the cart. Email number two, reminding them again. And you can add some elements in the copy. Like something like FAQ. So most of the questions people have before they buy this product, or just using reviews, customer reviews to answer their questions. Something like that to answer their objections. Another thing you can also do is building product specific abandoned cart. Now, these are advanced strategies that you can use, but just to show you an example of what that looks like. So you can see here we have this trigger split. So this is where you use trigger split instead of conditional split. So you can see here on the side we have logic, which is trigger and conditional. So for this case where we want to build separate parts for different kind of products or collection. So you can see here collection contains all men's bracelets, right? And if the answer is yes, they will go down this path, right? Or if the answer is no, they will go down this path. And you can start using this kind of stuff to like talk to people separately or show them different kind of reviews or different kind of stuff or lifestyle images of people, using that product in this kind of emails, right? So maybe in this email, you want to show reviews specifically for people who have bracelets in their carts. And for this part, you want to show some other kind of products. So these are just an example of how to use trigger split and how to build product specific abandoned carts. So that's one example here. The next one is using free shipping. So this is very interesting when maybe you have different shipping tiers. So an example is, let's say somebody who bought anything over $100, right? So you can also show those people that they are qualified for a free shipping. And this is something that we've done a lot of times, whereby just mentioning that that person is qualified for free shipping in the email can add a lot to to the conversions, right? Somebody knows that they are qualified for free shipping can make them complete their purchase as soon as possible. So this is an example of that here. We have a trigger split that says value is less than $100. So anybody whose value is less than $100, we won't mention the free shipping there. But let's say their value is above $100, they will go down this no part, right? And it's gonna say something like, free shipping is on your cart, something along those lines. So another one is discount value, very similar to the free shipping value. So you can also, choose this email. You can also set up this email based on the value of the product the person has in the cart. So let's use this one as an example again. So let's say you want to give people higher discount. So anybody who has above $100 in their cart, you might want to give them a discount earlier than usual, right? So maybe if somebody has $100 of worth of products in their cart, you might decide to just give them a discount in the first or second email rather than waiting till the third email. So you can also use the same trigger split and just use that to determine when you want to give them discounts, and just use it to separate your emails. Another one is for returning customers and new customers. So this is something that, like I said, we've done several times, and we've used it to improve our result, which is basically building another abandoned cart flow for returning customers, because we want to speak to them differently. We want them to feel different. So rather than just making everybody receive the same email, we build another email for returning customers, and we just set up the trigger, and the trigger is going to be anyone who have placed order at least once over our time, they should receive this email, or they should enter this flow. So if you remember the first one I showed you, it says placed order 0 times over our time. So this is excluding people who have already placed order from us. But this one is just for people who have already bought something from us. So these are like existing customers, basically. I hope that makes sense. So this is something you can do, as an advanced strategy. You don't need to use it at the beginning, but I, think you should if you have lots of returning customers. And like I said, we've used this same strategy to make lots of money with the abandoned cart flow. The next one is SMS. So you can also add SMS to your Klaviyo, your abandoned cart email, if your country supports SMS, which you can easily do on Klaviyo. So there are two ways you can do this. You can either build a separate SMS flow, or just simply add SMS to your current abandoned cart email flow. So let me just show you how to do that. So if you want to add it to the existing flow, it's also simple. You basically just want to drag this conditional split here and have a conditional split, and the split is going to be can receive SMS. So you can see here, if person can receive SMS marketing, that means the person must have consented to receive SMS from you. And if the answer is yes, you just want to have the SMS part here. If the answer is no, you want to have the email part, and they can just continue receiving emails from you. Another way to do it is basically building a separate SMS flow, which is practically the same strategy as the email, the same filters. So you can see placed order 0 times in starting this flow, can receive SMS marketing, has not been in the flow in the last 7 days, and checkout 0 times started in the last 7 days. So because it's SMS, it has to only go to people who can receive SMS marketing from you. And one of the reasons why we just like to separate it is because we also do split test in this case. So you can see here we are testing 30 minutes against 1 hour, and we just have multiple SMS text in this flow. So this entire flow is basically just for abandoned carts SMS, basically. So another thing I would like to show you here is what the SMS looks like. So depending on the country you're sending this from, as you can see, it has it said media supported in United States, Canada, and Australia. So if you are not sending from any of these countries, you might not have this dynamic image block here, right? So the image block is just similar to the email, which is showing what the person left in the cart, and it's just going to show that at the top, plus little bit of text here, and the call to action link. So you always want to make sure that the call to action link is going back to the checkout, which is the checkout URL here. You always want to make sure that is going to the checkout. So that's basically how to build high converting abandoned cart email for your store. So like I said, if you want the template, you want to see some live examples, and you want to create this for yourself, there's a link here. You can check the description. It's going to take you to this email template. You can use this template to build your email flows, and also you can see some live examples there, as well as tutorials on how to build this flow step by step. So you want to click on that link and check out this Profit Accelerator email template. I hope you find some value in this video. If you do, please like and subscribe to the channel, and give me some thumbs up. If you have any question, leave them in the comment section below. And also, I'm going to be leaving this entire Java doc. I'm going to be leaving it in the description. You can have access to these documents. So that'll be all for this video. I know it's a long one, But I hope you find some value in it. If you do, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.